We got a lot to talk about in the bubble, man. The bubble's heating up, man. It's heating up better than I think most people expected. This NBA restart is giving us a lot of good moments, a lot of big moments. Dame and Paul George beef, Dame and Skip beef, and Dame seems he's catching a lot of heat right now, but he's also giving a lot of smoke. TJ Warren, we got a lot of guys going crazy. Book, Luka, Sixers. We got a lot of information, man. A lot of stuff going on. Let's just get it started, man. Let's start where we at. Dame just went for 60, coming off of a 50 night, coming off of a missing 2 clutch free throws against the Clippers, which sparked everything, man. How do you guys feel about that whole exchange and what's going on right now with Portland and Dame?
Hey, I'm loving it, man. If y'all know, y'all watched last week, y'all know what I said, man. I said what I said. The Blazers going to get that last spot, man. And right now, they already have the 8th spot. So not even are they coming from behind trying to play into the 9th seed. They have now the upper advantage. They in the 8th spot right now, which means whoever gets that 9th seed, if they can hold on to that position, it's going to play them twice. So I'm loving everything. I'm loving the energy Dame's coming with right now, man. He basically saying Dame Lillard versus everybody who wants it. And he coming straight with it, and he calling folks out, bro. What he said about Paul George, man, that was probably one of the realest comments I've ever seen a player make on Instagram. Like, that was shots fired. He said, "Them boys chumps."
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and summarize it for the folks out there that didn't quite catch it. Dame misses 2 clutch free throws. Beverly and George are on the bench screaming Dame time, just kind of taunting them. Clippers win that game. Beverly gets on IG and basically says Cancun on 3. Paul George follows up with "You're going home." Like, and Dame basically called them boys chumps, man. Said they're scared of the grind. They're switching teams. Might be true. And called them chumps, man. Steve Below, man. How do you feel about all of that?
Shit, man. That's one man. If there's an Aaron Rodgers in the NBA, it is Damian Lillard. That's a bad man right there, yeah. That man, his arch is just nasty. And damn, man, I think they gotta put some respect on that man's name. He did take some boys home a couple times, send them to Cancun or Barbados or wherever anybody wants to go in the summertime when they're in the playoffs no more. At this point, man, Damian Lillard, man, I was going for the Lakers, but if that's looking like a Portland versus Laker, I'll say that goes to 7 games, because if Damian has anything to say, it's just damn. But then again, man, we're talking about King James. I don't want to jump the gun just yet, but I don't know, man. I feel bad for anybody who has to see him in the first round. It's never been too pretty, anybody going up against him in the first round. You could call Houston and you call the Thunders. Look what he did to both of those teams. Send them in refill mode ASAP.
Dame has definitely sent some
flip-flop.
Dame has definitely sent some boys home, man. Ron, what you think about Dame, man?
Beach sandal, boy.
Man, I love it, man. Dame is bringing the energy we all need and we all miss, man. It seemed like we were without sports forever, and Dame is bringing it like single-handedly right now. I love the beef with PG. I love the beef with Skip. I'm here for all of it, man. And the way I see it, man, he's right. Everything that he's saying is right. I'm not gonna say his language was correct. I'm not gonna call those guys chumps, but I mean, he's not wrong in what he's alluding to, man. They are kind of running from the grind, at least the way that he's grinding is very respectable. And Scruff, man, you did say it last week. I got to jump on board, man. The Blazers are definitely taking that 8th spot. You called it first. That we probably should have seen it a little sooner. Melo's balling as well. We got to mention him, throw his name out there. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that Dame and them boys are going to beat the Lakers in the first round. I got the Lakers winning it all. But it's going to go 7 games, and it'll probably be one of the better series of all the playoffs. So, I'm hyped for it.
Before we go that far, is Dame even going to get that 8th seed? I mean, Devin Booker has been a one-man inferno even before the bubble. I think these guys have won 9 out of the last 10, 8 straight, something like that. I mean, the Suns are blazing right now, not to make a pun. Anybody catch Devin Booker? They see what this guy's doing, man. Another 35 and another win.
Man, I love what Book is doing. And I love that the Suns are undefeated, but this is going to be one of them things where it's just too little, too late. It's nice for the bubble. It's good to see him balling in the bubble, and we'll be looking forward to what the Suns do in the future. But for my money, it's too little, too late.
Makes sense. I see you shaking your head, Scruff. What you got to say about Book?
It's not
Wet
too
like
late.
I'm
It's
Book.
not too late. It's not too late, man. It's not too late at all, man. The one thing about Disneyland, it's where magic happens, man. Where dreams come true.
Yes, sir.
So the Suns literally had a literal long shot. I don't think anyone in the world would have picked them to actually come out. I was even thinking before that. I'm glad I didn't say it publicly. I was thinking, man, why are they even in there? But they making some noise. They had a slight glimmer of hope to get into playoffs. Now they're about within a game. They're right there in striking distance right now. It's not unreasonable to think that the Grizzlies could fall out of the whole conversation. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think it's going to come down to the Suns against the Blazers for the final spot in the West play-in game. Now, I got my money on Dame to take it, but the way Devin Booker been playing, he ain't taking no L's, man. So right now they're undefeated in the bubble, honestly. And he's dude's playing out of his mind. He's been playing like that. Now the rest of the guys around him are stepping up too. I think the Suns have a legitimate opportunity to make the playoffs. Ultimately, though, I think the Blazers are the bigger threat.
Hey, G, what do you think, man? You think the Suns can make the push and knock the Grizzlies out? And do you think they could get past Dame if they did?
Refresh my memory. How's the NBA doing this 8th seed again? I think you have to be at least one game behind, I think, or half a game.
It's already a foregone conclusion that there is going to be a playing game. You have to be within 3.5 games. And that's already all the teams. Literally 4 teams are within that distance right now. So it could go anywhere.
You're talking about the Spurs still
Suns,
playing, right?
Spurs. Yep, Suns, Spurs, Grizzlies, Blazers right there. 4 teams, one spot.
I still think coaching has a big thing to do with this game, this basketball game. So if the Suns have to go against the Spurs, I'm not gonna not put my money with Greg Popovich now, one of the best coaches in NBA history. So with the Suns, I mean, just like what Rome says, a little too late, man, because that's a big obstacle. That you're talking about playing against maybe the Spurs, right? And then going against Dame Lillard. Yeah, I'm not betting on the Suns, man. Devin Booker, I think he's going to Cancun pretty soon, my man. It was fun in Florida, right? I get it. He's doing good things. He's doing great things that he should have been doing prior to the bubble. So at this point, just like what Rome said, I'm going to agree with Rome. It's a little too late. Just give us these great moments, but you're going to Cancun, my man.
I mean, look, we all know he's a prolific scorer. I mean, we've seen the guy light up the scoreboard, but he's finally putting it together with the wins. And I don't know, man. Popovich, I don't really like what the Spurs have. They don't look that enthusiastic. I'm not really putting my chips in DeMar DeRozan to get that team across the hump. I really think it'll be a Spurs and a Portland matchup. Rome, you think Portland can overcome a hot Devin Booker?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think I like I said, I think Devin Booker is hot right now, and I think it's good for the bubble, and I think it's good for the moment. But I just don't see it lasting into the playoffs. I think the Portland is just better suited to even get in there. I think they give the Lakers a better run for their money. I think the Suns are potentially swept right on out. I think that could be Devin Booker was hot, and then the flame goes out, and then it is what it is. So I think it works better for the Suns, even if they just have this little run. And they're the team that almost made it, and then we go into next season saying, what are they going to do?
Right. I'm gonna pivot a little bit, but I'm gonna stay on the Suns, man. Did you guys catch Draymond Green getting that $50,000 fine for tampering? Anybody see what that's about? If you're listening out there, basically, Draymond Green, I'm gonna summarize. He just said, get the kid out of Phoenix, man. Get the kid out of Phoenix. Phoenix isn't, get him to a place where he can do what he's doing and get, win. Be on a winning team where they can really get after a championship. So, Scrub, what you think about that, man? Fair fine? Was he tampering or just speaking his mind?
Man, he wasn't tampering at all, man. He was just doing literally what he was asked to do when he got brought on there. That's like ridiculous. You feel me? Like, why even have players come on the air if you can't even talk? Like, the dude said nothing about he didn't say, hey, come to Golden State. He said, yo, somebody need to get him out of there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get him out of there. He was criticizing the ownership, which realistically, they deserve to be criticized, man. When's the last time the Suns were in the playoffs? Like Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, them days, man. Like, come on, bro. That's the thing, man. $50K, bro, that hurts. I know them dudes is millionaires, like multimillionaires making crazy loot, but yo, literally, bro, he ain't do nothing different than what me, you, and the rest of us are doing right now. You just speaking the truth. You getting trying to find $50K? Like, that hurts, bro. That hurts, man.
Whoa. So they fined Draymond for that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
50K.
Okay, I'm confused. What exactly did he say that other players haven't said in the past that have actually led to players leaving and joining up? I thought that was a thing. Like, what's going on?
Look, I got the exact quote right here, man. It's great to see Book playing well and Phoenix playing well, but get my man out of Phoenix. It's not good for him. It's not good for his career. Sorry, Chuck, but they've got to get Book out of Phoenix. I need my man to go somewhere that he can play great basketball all the time and win, because he's that kind of a player. That's worth 50.
That's tampering.
That's $50K worth of tampering.
The NBA normally isn't bugging, but this is a very NFL-like move, bro. This is that I don't even understand it. That's a head scratcher. I hadn't seen this headline. That's a big head scratcher for me, man. It makes no sense.
I mean, if this is some sort of subtle play to get Book to get out there with Golden State, then fine him $5 million for all I care. Stop the super teams. But if it's really an honest request, just to be humble and say, put my guy in a winning franchise, then I'm not against that. I'm not against that. What you think about it, G?
Man, let's not forget what Doc Rivers did last year with Kawhi Leonard. Remember, fellas, during the All-Star weekend, how he compared him to Michael Jordan? I believe he was fined like $500,000 by the league, that the Clippers owner ended up paying for it, just because he was like, that's my guy, Doc Rivers. But like, if nobody learned from Doc Rivers, I mean, Draymond Green, come on now, my guy. You know the league is watching, and you know the league is just like, well, in their opinions, like stopping super teams as much as possible. Spread out talent everywhere. Spread it out, because that's what you want at the end of the day. No, you just can't have another fucking top 5 player or top 10 player just jump ship and go to the Golden State Warriors. Now that's all we're seeing every final is fucking Golden State.
Right.
French, man. I just can't see another. I am a Golden State hater at this point in my life.
Okay, so let me put the question. Let me put the question up like this: Did he get fined because he's with Golden State and they're known for building super teams? Because if Bradley Beal would have came out and said something like this on the Wizards, is that, you know what I mean? Are we worried about them becoming a super team, or is this because he's on the
Bradley Beal?
I don't think it's got anything to do with it. I think it's got more to do with his reputation, if you ask me.
I think you're on to something.
His reputation. Man, it's like, man, I'll tell you what, we going back a number of years, but during my playing days, bro, I played a lot like Draymond Green. Real talk. I was a little bit of a dirty player. You feel me? I get you. I grab your jersey. I do what I gotta do. But once the refs know that you're that guy, you get the reputation for being that guy. And then sometimes you legitimately try to turn a new leaf and you can't even do it. They're like, oh, look, there he go doing that same old stuff. So when Draymond's been a candid speaker, he's the type of dude to speak his mind, say what he wants. So he gets on there, man. They read, what did Draymond say? Did he say another play? Okay. Tee him up. Like, come on, man.
No, I think you got a point. And this isn't Draymond's first time criticizing the Phoenix ownership. He did it with Marquise Chris too. So, what we got there? Draymond would have criticized either way. The moment Booker leaves the Suns, Draymond will say he's weak. That's another valid point, man. If he does link up with a team outside of Golden State, I could see Draymond coming around the other way and saying that's a weak move. You know, let's say he goes and play with KD and down there in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie. I can see Draymond being upset with that. But let's not spend all our
Philly.
Hey, that's a good landing spot for him, honestly. But let's it's a lot of guys on fire right now. Let's keep it pushing to some of these other names in the bubble, man. Luka, TJ Warren. These guys have been lighting it up too, man. Like, what do y'all think, man? Is it because of the bubble? Are these players just starting to come into their own? Like, what's going on?
Well, we're talking about Luka. We always knew he was going to be someone of a good player. Like, look at the way he ended last year. Like, that was my rookie of the year last year, and look at him now. It's just like the way he's ascending is just crazy though. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like, I thought he would be this great, but he's just fucking balling out. TJ Warren, I think he's more like fake gold. Like, I think it's just for the spirit of the moment until teams just actually start watching film on the guy and just like, oh shit, all right, we can stop him. You saw what my boy Jimmy Butler did, and then and then a couple of these other players that are doing great is just like, all right, it's all about. I'm right now like the way I'm feeling about the Lakers is just like, look at how they're playing right now, right? They're taking games one at a time. Some of these games they're not even trying to put the all foot in it, and then other games where they're putting the foot down to the pedal to make sure they win, like when we saw last night, the night before, when Kuzma shot that big three. And then we're talking about when he won against the Clippers, like certain games is where they're putting in all certain games. It's just like, all right, players are going to come. Let's ease it down. All depends on who we're watching and how we're style of play.
All right, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Bryce here because, like you said, a lot of these teams at the top kind of have their position settled, are picking which nights they're going to play their guys. You know what I'm saying? Except Toronto. I mean, even when Toronto's sitting a guy or two, like every night they bring playoff intensity. So Toronto's looking better and better to me. But who do you guys right now? If you had to pick a bubble MVP, who would it be? Because I've seen TJ Warren pretty much embarrass the Lakers. I mean, he threw the ball off LeBron's back. I mean, you don't do that to GOATs, man. you don't do that to GOATs. And Luka's getting triple doubles every single night. Nobody can seem to contain him. And we can't forget about Harden. So who do you got? Who's your bubble MVP? Who's your favorite person to watch right now? Must see TV.
Damian Lillard.
I gotta go Luka.
All right, we got a Lillard. We got a Luka. What about you, Scrub?
I gotta go Dame, bro. I gotta go Dame. But TJ Warren gets my most improved or most surprising player, if you will.
Okay. All right, look. Real quick, let me explain why I'm going Luka. All right, over Dame. Dame started balling out after he missed those 2 free throws, right? So I can't give him too much credit for before that. He needed that extra motivation, and I love what's happening after the fact. TJ Warren, although he did ball on the Lakers, and you pointed it out what he did to the GOAT, yada, yada, yada. He also had some duds in there. There was a couple games, I believe, he had under 20 points, and those were pretty recent. So he had a couple duds in there too. And then Luka, man, he's just been the most consistent to me. He's been Luka every game. Like every game, he's giving you what he's got. That pass, bro. That pass between the legs. Oh, come on, bro. That was one of the dirtiest passes I've seen in a long time. And T, you know ball, so you can break that level of difficulty that's up there to do that full speed while all that's going. So I gotta go with Luka.
Look, let me rebuttal that because I agree with you 1,000%, man. When I hear about great passers, they bring up names like LeBron. But Luka he's just a natural basketball player. Now he's been playing pro since about 14 to 15. But that pass right there, off the pick and roll, which is NBA basketball, it's pick and roll, through the legs. He couldn't just dish it with the offhand because there's 2 defenders right there. I mean, to start with a crossover and just switch it through to the bounce. Oh man, that's beautiful basketball, man. That's music. And I love it.
I got something from Rome.
Hold on. But for Luka to be the most consistent, Dame went for 61 and beat them tonight. Yeah. Beat them tonight.
Yeah.
So I mean,
to be fair, my notes didn't include tonight's game.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
Hold on. Remember, Damian Lillard, right before he played the Clippers, he scored 45 points. His lowest scoring game throughout this bubble has been 21 points. Coming into the bubble, he scored 29 points. The game against Boston was 30 points. The game against Houston, 21 points. Denver, 45 points. Clippers, 22. Philly, 51. And today's game, 60. Like, how Damian Lillard not your favorite player?
Oh, man.
And you're not even naming the whole stat line, bro. The thing is, he dropped 21 points in one game. Oh, 21, like that's not a lot. But he also dropped 9 rebounds, 8 assists in that same game. First game from the bubble, he dropped 30 and 16. Then he dropped 45 and 12. You feel me? Like, then he dropped 51 and then 61. The worst game he had was probably against the Clippers. He had 22 And like I said, you're right. He took an L, but he was balling before that, and he was balling after.
I mean, I can't. I don't want to knock Dame at all, and this isn't a knock, but right now I gotta watch Book, man. Not to harper back to Book, but like he's getting wins. He's getting wins in Phoenix. We haven't seen Phoenix win since I don't know, man. It's been a long time. Amari and Nash. That's the last time we've had some excitement in Phoenix. But Scruff, what's going on with your Sixers, man? I know you're a big Sixers guy. You got injuries. I mean, what's happening, man? Are you guys a threat or a joke at this point?
All right. First of all, we're not a joke, so we can rule that out of the possibilities. Wait, hold on. Wait your turn. We are not a joke. And I'll say another thing, man. Actually, I was pretty much ready to say that we're done, to be honest. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think we're all the way done. Like, we're like 3/4 of the way done, but we're not all the way done, man. I'll tell you what, man. When we got Joel Embiid in the lineup, actually, our record, so people always talking about, oh, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. Like, when they haven't played together, they've been all right, man. Like, they played together and played well, too. But Joel Embiid, our record with them, him alone is pretty good. So here's the thing. If we're going to make it to the playoffs, we're going to secure probably the 6th seed. Now, even without Ben, what that means, we're just going to be we're going to be playing through Joel. Now, the way I see it, this bubble playoffs is all about matchups, man. You already know the Sixers struggled notoriously bad on the road this season. They were excellent at home, terrible on the road. Now, every game is the same. They're going against Boston. Season series against Boston, the Sixers have the edge. Now, another thing about Boston, about the matchup, is they don't really have a good big. Like, the Sixers made the tactical move to get Al Horford, and while it hasn't been the best move, it hasn't panned out exactly the way that they said or they hoped it would. This is the perfect time for Al Horford to come into play because Al Horford was literally one of the key pieces of reason why Boston was beating us. Now, they don't have a center. Who's their starting center? Daniel Tice? You know what I'm saying? You're going to put Daniel Tice against Joel Embiid? You must be kidding me. And then we have Al Horford too. Like, not only they can't stop either of our bigs. So if we just play through the bigs and their guards don't torch us, I think we have a chance to actually still advance. I'm cautious about it because ultimately I'm going to start the bandwagon if it already hasn't been started. Philadelphia started a while ago. Fire Brett Brown. I'd hope Brett Brown don't keep his job beyond this season. No disrespect to Brett. He's a nice guy. But he doesn't belong in the head coaching position anymore. He's already, his time's been up. Now, he miraculously gets out the first round still, which I think I said it's possible. I don't know. I hope they don't get crazy and keep him for another year. But I think that if we can muster it up with the right matchup, them bigs are going to be a problem for Boston. So I wouldn't rule us out yet. No.
Hey, G, I want to swing it to you because you kind of had a smirk on your face. And I thought that was a fair opinion from a fan, you know what I'm saying, from a guy that supports the Sixers. I found that extremely fair, man. So what what was going through your mind?
What we're seeing right now with the Sixers is if the Sixers take the lead with Embiid, whatever you see in the bubbles, whatever you're going to see from here on out. But they need to do something with Ben Simmons. Get him support. Clearly, this whole Ben Simmons and Embiid project is not going to work out. It hasn't worked out. There's nothing that the coach could fix at this point. So at this point, it's like, you know what they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So these guys haven't gotten it together, don't plan on having it together. So what you need to do is, I'm sorry, Nick, you need to trade Embiid. Find shooters for Ben Simmons. Because you got Harper, right? You got him at this point. He's your center. So you got a decent big. So just find shooters around Ben Simmons. Find better shooters. Draft a lot better. And you got to get a good coach. Like you got a lot of things to do come September or the end of August, if anything. But it's just like, yo, the Embiid and Ben Simmons project is over, man. Like you guys, we're going to see what Boston do to you guys each and every season from here on out. It's going to torch you guys. Damn sure none of your guards are going to stop them boys from putting supply in here.
So we have two takeaways so far. We got Scruff saying fire the coach and the team's going to be all right. We got my man Demolo Ragu saying trade the center. and trade Embiid and fire the coach. Hey, Rome, I'm afraid to give it. You might say sell the franchise. I don't know if I should go. What do you think? What do you think?
All right, I'm not going to pretend like I know how to fix the 76ers or what the best plan of action moving forward is. I'm going to just answer the question as it pertains to them in the bubble. And the answer is yes, they are done. I was planning on having a prop. I didn't grab it. I had a fork because that's how done they are. Like, it's time to eat.
Stick a fork in them.
The Sixers are done. Scruff, I mean, you mentioned something like getting out of the first round, but then I think you stopped talking about that because we know that's not going to happen. So, I mean, I think y'all avoid getting swept, which is good, but it's not. I mean, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
All right, so
we're 3-1 against the Celtics during the season. Though Sixers were 3-1 against the Celtics. So first of all, they're not beating it all crazy or like I don't know what G was talking about. Oh yeah, the Celtics are gonna keep kicking us. Nah, what three? We beat them 3 times and they beat us once. How are they kicking up on us, bro?
I feel you. I think Tobias Harris is an underrated piece that people don't talk about enough.
No one wants to know. Was Ben Simmons
like
playing?
AI?
You heard?
Hey, the streets want to know, was Ben Simmons involved in that 3-1 record? Because he's not anymore.
Yeah, he's gone.
He wasn't involved in every game, but yeah, okay, good point.
That's a fair point.
So it's gonna hurt, man. It's gonna hurt.
So, all right, man. I think we've covered most of the basketball talk. Anything else, you guys? Any other takeaways from the bubble? I'm enjoying the virtual fans myself.
One thing I wanted to bring up and see what everybody was thinking of was the Damian Lillard and Paul George beef. I don't know if y'all saw the girlfriend and the sister were getting into it, and it had me wondering, man, like how deep is this beef going to go? You know, like they're all in this bubble together. You know, they're all. It's not like we're going back to different cities after the game. You know, like are we going to see any brawls in the bubble? Could we see a bubble brawl possibly? What do y'all think about that? Should get a little too heated.
I think
conditions are right.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see a fight in the playoffs. I'm going to say we're going to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go set the over under at 1. And I think we're going to go one fight and just between two guys, not a huge brawl, but it won't be Lillard and Paul George. They kind of have pieced it up since then. A phone call was made and they kind of, you know, square things away. I don't think anybody's going to punch anybody walking around the bubble.
Giannis headbutted somebody last night tonight.
Did?
Yeah, he headbutted somebody from the Wizards and got ejected. Yeah. Like, oh,
I didn't see that. That's breaking news right there.
Yeah.
I ain't see that.
You sure he wasn't just punching the air?
Nah, bro. Like, he literally headbutted one of your boys from the Wizards, bro, and got ejected. I'm like, okay. Got my money on Giannis in this one.
All right. I'm watching the video live. It's certainly a headbutt, but it's also a flop. So it was Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner, victim of a vicious headbutt.
Concussion protocol, baby.
Yeah, hey. Nah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, bro. Also, shout out Kyle Kuzma, though. Shout out Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
He might be the X factor for the Lakers going forward because he came up big in the last night's game, man. And it's a beautiful thing. Shout out to Cardi B. You feel me? Shout out to Megan. Shout out to Winnie Harlow. I think that WAP giving them some good luck.
I mean, I guess.
You feel me?
Hey, Kuz is a bad boy. That man said he'd shoot it if Jesus was in front of him.
That's a little wild.
That is a little wild. That is a little wild, bro.
I don't really expect him to make another big shot. Personally.